welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bryan Lee Whatley. Our story begins tonight with a very special guest, actor, writer, producer, Nik Catello. Nik is trained in martial arts in Kempo, the style made famous by the father of American karate, Ed Parker, where Nik earned a third-degree black belt. And he studied under acting, the tutelage of renowned Shakespearean and Academy-nominated actress, Miss Lynn Redgrave. Nik is also a multi-award-winning screenplay writer. And with his acting and physical training, he of course does his own stunts. He is a cross between a young Marlon Brando and a Clint Eastwood with all the abilities of a Bruce Lee. And with several movies coming online such as Bruce the Challenge, Forgiven This Gun for Hire, and Beyond Legend with Johnny Kokota, his company, Hollywood Sunset Pictures, HSP Films, does big studio films on an indie budget. His films are family-friendly, action adventures with a moral, spiritual theme. And with some of the other movies I've seen coming online from big studio, this is a much-needed style. Our musical guest is one of my favorite glamorous hip-hop singers, Amy Weber, with her sexy song, Something Kinda Ooh. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, Nik. How are you doing today?
Hey, Brian. Great to be on, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Oh, man, it's an honor to have you on here. You do a lot of exciting stuff in my life that I'm jealous
man,
about.
Honor. You sure you're talking to the right guy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to get on to my producer if it's not. I'm just kidding. I definitely know it's the right guy. How are things going with you here lately? How's your week been? New Year, stuff like that.
The holidays were fun. I mean, relaxed and, you know, spend it with the people that really matter, you know. And, just time to clear your head. And now's the time to start getting back into the grind of everything. On the producer side, it's really a grind.
I can definitely understand that. Yeah, getting past the holidays, New Year's, Christmas, the presents and relatives, everything, that's something that everybody has to go through. It's one of those rites of life passages, but once that's over with, you know, January 2nd, January 3rd, it's definitely back to business. And you being in the entertainment business, movies and acting and such, it's definitely hard hitting. So I can understand where you're coming from. Now, before we get into some of the movies and acting and screenwriting awards that you have, I'd like to talk to you about some of the martial arts stuff that you do, because I'm a huge martial arts fan. I teach my son martial arts, and I grew up around it since I was a child. I'm studying different styles, and you're big into Kempo, right?
Yeah, that's my main style. And then I do a lot of other styles within that Kempo base. Especially with kicks and stuff, and it's still, I mean, you know, you kind of want flashier kicks, and my kicks kind of are Hapkido type kicks.
Okay.
You know, where your leg would swing out wide a lot more. Kempo's really enclosed, like you're a Shaolin guy, so you know all the sticky finger stuff on Kung Fu, that's all inside stuff.
Right.
Which is fine, but we want more wider stuff for the screen, you know, so it shows better.
Right. There's
so I incorporate everything in with Kempo.
Yeah, it amazes me sometimes that even on TV they can, or on movies where they say, you know, we can bring the lens in as close as we can get it, but they always want big dramatic kind of action scenes. Like you have to bring your fist out wide or your leg out wide or something like that. It looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Some of the kicks that he did, he was well known for because they were so magnificent about it. So I just think it's pretty cool. You have a third-degree black belt, is that right?
Right, in Kempo.
Now, who was one of your growing up? I've had several different people who just kind of inspired my life in martial arts. One of them being a Shaolin monk. A couple of other people who just I trained with throughout my life. Who were some of the people that got you inspired into this? And do you use martial arts in your Hollywood stunt work and things like that?
That's all I use. I mean, that's my life. So, and thinking about one of the films we're doing, Bruce the Challenge, about an idol. Of course, every martial artist, I think, is in some way, um, you know, part of Bruce because he's just so ingrained in the martial arts, but that's what Bruce Challenge is about. And our system is actually the system that gave Bruce his start. Ed Parker, who is known as the father of American karate, brought mainstream martial arts to the mainland here, and he did the internationals, which brought Bruce to everybody's attention in America. He was already a child star. I don't know if anybody knows that, but he started as a child actor with his father, and that's what our film's about. It gives all the stuff that you never knew or isn't widely known about him, and that's how our film starts out. So Bruce would be one of them, and of course the head of our system, Ed Parker, who we have his son playing him in our film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Ed Parker Jr. looks just like his father. But the biggest one is my instructor, who taught me everything about the martial arts and incorporating everything in, and also back to the Bruce film, the footage that we're using of Bruce, my instructor actually shot that footage of him in the 68 International.
Oh, really? So that's original?
That's the footage we're using. We're using all rare footage of Bruce, and we're incorporating into the movie. Like,
oh, very cool.
Forrest Gump did it.
Right, right.
We're doing the same thing with Bruce.
Very cool.
On a low budget, mind you.
Well,
we had a big bar in steel to get that.
I can imagine. I'm surprised it's not in some archive somewhere. That's going to be exciting to see that. I love watching. I remember my father taking me to martial arts, and my uncle and stuff like that, to martial arts movies and the Bruce Lee movies back in the theaters back in the day in the 70s. And so we would sit there and just watch them. And of course, once I got out, I was just like, oh man, these are the greatest now ever. And so I mean, I've got all his books for Jeet Kune Do, studied a lot of the stuff that he's done. I get my son to watch some of his movies now, so I can't wait to see this one. I haven't seen this movie yet. And so I can't wait to see it, because if you've got original footage of Bruce Lee in there, then I definitely want to check it out.
It's in post-production right now, so hopefully we'll get it out of post in another 4 months or so, and we can get it to a print and off to our distributor. We have 500 screens, actually a little more than 500 screens allocated for it right now. Domestically and all the foreign and stuff, so we'll have a pretty good distribution of it.
Nice.
Out in theaters, so.
Nice. I can't wait to see this.
Of course, you can hit the trailer online too. You can go to brucechallenge.com and see the trailer.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I did watch that. I did watch the trailer there, and so far the stuff that I've seen, I liked. I thought it was really, really cool. Now you're also a full contact martial arts champ. How?
Yeah, I have the scars to show. Pretty good.
I studied Sancho with.
Actually, if you're any good, you wouldn't be getting the scars.
Well, sometimes I don't know. I don't see how you can get past the training without a couple of scars every now and then. How difficult was that to do? I mean, it's obviously a lot of training and a lot of dedication, mindset, spirits, everything else. What was preparing for something like that?
Well, basically, it comes down to dedication, and like anything in any sport, the more time you put into it, the more you get out of it, like in anything in life. So, I mean, I know it's a cliche, but, practice makes perfect, and, I just spent hours, training on techniques and hitting the bags and a lot of sparring, and, there's your bumps and bruises right there.
Nice. I remember I trained a little bit of sand shell and stuff, and I tried to compete on my Shaolin Masters wushu team, and it was very, very difficult. The 6 a.m. trainings and stuff just got to me, but I never got into the full contact piece of it. We do a lot of sparring and fighting and stuff, but I never actually competed like that. So for people who do that type of work, it's that type of competition. I'm in awe because the dedication is crazy. It's
mind you, it's not that far off of training for films and stuff, and getting in shape to do a movie. And I still wake up at 3:30 in the morning and hit the gym, and then after that come back and do bag work and all that stuff. So.
Cool. Well, I was gonna. There's a couple of people that or that compare you as a cross between being a young Brando Eastwood with all the abilities of Bruce Lee, and so I can understand where the Bruce Lee part comes in. How is it in terms of?
I was trained theatrically by a Shakespearean actress who just passed away not too long ago. Was Lynn Redgrave.
Okay.
Redgrave family, and I did her master classes for a few years.
Okay, nice. I was wondering because the
You would not. There's no in the mind, but the swings and arrows about losers. Okay.
Very cool. Very nice. I like that. Now you're also.
If you want, I can do Brando and the Godfather too, but that's for later.
All right. You're also a screenplay writer, Academy Award winning. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, not Academy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, award winning. Sorry.
But we do have an Academy Award winning actress in our film, so I did act with one.
How do you like the writing part of it?
Well, like is a strong word. It's tedious to do it right. I actually don't like writing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. My first manager I had, all our stuff is really morally based. There's always a moral to what we do in Hollywood Sunset Pictures. Kind of like the Chronicles of Narnia, that kind of stuff. And when I first started, and my manager, kept trying to get me work, and I go, I don't want to do that. That's junk, man. I don't want to be representing that kind of stuff, right? He goes,
right.
Hey, why don't you write something for yourself when you produce it? Boy, is that the wrong road to go down. We're still trying to get something. But then I wrote a couple of screenplays, and then I got an idea for one. When you're talking about the award-winning one is Beyond Legend, Johnny Dakota, and I developed that and won a couple of awards for that one. That's where the award-winning comes from. It's a big award. And then I start writing the stuff we start producing, like the Bruce film. Wrote that one. The Western, the 3D Western. A homage to the spaghetti westerns, but we're doing it in 3D. That's basically why I became a writer. But to do it, to really do it, and to make it good, is really tedious because it's like, let me give you a line in Beyond Legend. Because that's like 10 rewrites before it was sent out.
Right.
To competition. But it took me so long just to get the pace down so the character in the movie, Chrissy, says, everything in this godforsaken town is like that. Just to get that pace in that one line occurs, I had to pace the line before it and the line after it. And just to get that to flow into the next one. So it's kind of like writing a song, but kind of not. It's kind of like writing poetry, but kind of not. You got to make it like it's real.
Right.
I mean, to do it, to really get that pace, that flow, that feeling. I mean, it's just tough. And I picked that line because when guy writing female dialogue. It's kind of tough. But what I do is I'm a real big, huge classic buff. I mean, my favorite movie, you're going to freak out, is Gone with the Wind.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
I
nice.
just love the classics that are written so well. And Scarlett O'Hara and Gone with the Wind is kind of how I base a lot of my female characters. Because back in the 40s, the women had to be strong, and they had to have that air about them. You know, when the men went off to war, they were here. They had to take care of everything. You know, they built our you know, the Rosie the Riveter. You know, all those things that happened in the 40s. But then they were also sexy and had that, you know, way about them. I mean, I don't know if you're in the classic movies.
Yes, love them.
But if you watch those movies, you know, those women just pop, you know. And every time I give my script to a girl to read, she always says, "I want to play Chrissy." I mean, that's how hard or time to get the characters right. So a woman would say that, you know. But that's where I base them on. That's where I get, you know, the inspiration to write that kind of, you know.
Well, see, that makes sense because I was watching some of the trailers on your websites, and that was the feeling that I got when I was watching the trailers. So that makes sense that you were talking about that.
Well, and that showed.
Because I was kind of wondering when I was watching.
What's the blood when I'm writing that?
Because when I was watching them,
Forgiven is on its third rewrite right now. You know, what I do is I just fly through a first draft just to get it down, get the flow of the scenes down, you know, the beginning, the middle, the end. And then I go back and start, and then I go, wow, did I write that crap? Get that out of there.
do you ever get to a point to where you just have to just say, okay, enough is enough, this is the script?
I did with Dakota. I mean, that was like, I go, man, I'm just done with this, man. You know, I'm driving myself nuts, man. Because there are a lot of characters in that one. And it's a big, big budget movie.
It's interesting that you said it's kind of like writing poetry because I write poetry and I do it from my own personal feelings and experiences and things. And so one of these days I'll put out a little poetry book, but I haven't done it yet. I've got several chapters in it. I've got about 12 more that I want to write and put out there. But you're right about the flow of them. And how I test my lines of poetry or the pieces I write is I will go to an open mic night. And whether it's for one of the writers guilds or somewhere else, I'll just go up there and they have an open mic and I'll just get in front of everybody and just read it. And sometimes I get these all-inspiring, applause from people that they really like it, or some girl will be crying about it and she's like, "Oh, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard," or whatever. And then other people will be like, "Dude, you just need to throw that piece away. That was horrible." Yeah, I don't know, but it's scary, man. I put up a piece up there because I never know when I'm finished with it, and I'm like, I just got to stop writing this piece. That's it. I'm done with it, and then I'll go out there. Okay, now let me test it and see how people like it, and then that's pretty much it. So that's why I was wondering if you ever get to a part where you just got to say, I'm done. I just need to produce this. I need to get this out.
Yeah, I would like to get to that part after I write the first word. I'm done.
Right. The title of the movie is The End.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, definitely screenwriting is I can agree with you there. It's very, very difficult to do, but one of the most, and I kind of think it's one of the most underrated parts of a movie itself. Everybody gets into the
that, you're that's your base, man. I mean,
right.
What else do you have? And then plus screenwriting is different than a book. Because a book you can describe everything, but in a movie, the dialogue has to say it. So if they can't explain it, you have to show it, and it has to be in the dialogue, and it has to be really creative the way you have to move the script along, the descriptions have to be short and quick and explain what you're doing, and then move on to the dialogue. The dialogue's everything. The dialogue that moves it.
Now, you have a couple of the movies that we're talking about is Bruce the Challenge, that's in post-production, and everybody can go to brucethechallenge.com to check this one out.
Right, and there's a main trailer, which you probably saw the main one. Then right underneath it, I don't know if you saw that one, it's kind of a pitch trailer that pitches the movie. It actually shows, you know, the whole storyline, where the main trailer is just, you know, scenes going through them, you know, like a trailer.
Right.
The other one actually explains more about how, you know, and it has a lot of the rare footage in it too. When you go on the site, you'll see the main trailer pop up, and then right below that, it'll say, you know, here, click here for that, and it'll show the other trailer. So there's two trailers.
Okay, I think I only saw one, and that's why I was wondering about I think I saw some of the footage that you were talking about. I was wondering where it come from, because it's pretty cool.
So, yeah, definitely go back and, you know, check that out.
All right, another one that we have is ForgivenGunForHire.com.
That's the 3D Western.
All right.
Again, Western type.
Now,
actually, it's pretty neat. It's kind of, it's really going to be a fun film. Picture The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you know, Eastwood.
Nice, right.
You know, the man with no name, that's why we named our character The Stranger. And picture Zorro. So it's a combination between The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Zorro. So it's the character of The Stranger with a little more flair to him.
Nice. Now, one of the ladies you have or was interested in this, from what I heard, is J-Love? Or not J-Lo, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, that's J-Love.
Well, I said it so fast, I don't want people to think it was J-Lo. That's why I wanted to reemphasize. What, he's got J-Lo in there?
Yeah, actually we're in talks with her right now. Where, you know, we made her an offer and stuff, and then the holidays got in the way, and we'll be talking to her probably next week.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite actresses, and I think she's going to be perfect for this movie, because the way you described it in terms of the movie overlays with it, and in terms of, this is the one you were talking about, the strength.
How perfect for her. She's a Texas girl.
Yeah, she has one of those kind of hourglass figures that fits right perfectly with the costumes and everything. Yes, exactly.
You are a writer.
Well, now that's another thing about the costuming for these movies. Since you like the classics
you know
like
who
that.
we have for a comic relief, right?
No, who is that?
You saw that on Indian. The stagecoach driver is Louis Anderson.
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And of course, we have a couple of the cast members coming back from Bruce. Our Oscar winner, Shirley Jones, who's, you know, a classic. She plays the hotel owner, and her husband, Marty Ingalls, plays the blacksmith. He's comic relief too. We got two legends for comic relief in there.
Very cool.
And then right now we're casting a pretty big cameo for it right now. So that's our next casting thing we're going after.
So if you're in pre-production now, when do you think that this movie will be coming out? Somewhere around 2014, 2015?
Yeah, 2014.
Okay, nice.
If we get everything, all the financing together, and get it in prep by March, it'll be ready for that. And now we have a lot of screens for that one. We got about 3,000 screens for that one.
Wow.
Yeah, and plus all the foreign stuff there.
That's a lot.
And westerns are going to be really hot this year coming out. They already started with Django. That's up there at the number 2 spot, fighting for number 1. And of course, you got The Long Ranger coming out.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
You haven't?
No, I haven't heard of Long Ranger coming out.
Johnny Depp plays Tonto.
No way, really? The man of 1,000
1,000
faces. I didn't know he was doing that.
You see that trailer, man. It's awesome.
With the Long Ranger.
Annie Oakley is coming out with Natalie Portman.
Really?
And there's a great Western on TV. I don't know if you ever seen Hell on Wheels on AMC.
No, I have
I'm
to
a
know.
big one for all these people. I hope I get some.
Yeah, I have not seen that. The fact that there's so many westerns coming out, because I love westerns and I love the classics and stuff. So I didn't realize the Lone Ranger was coming out. I didn't realize the other ones were coming out. So I guess I just hadn't been watching too much TV in order to see the commercials or whatever. I'm too busy working. That's crazy. I need to find out some of this stuff. Okay, so we got ForgivenGunForHire.com, and that's that rugged adventure action Wild Wild West 3D. Can't wait for that. Bruce the Challenge, which is which you mentioned with Shirley Jones, who's the spiritual mother to Bruce, on BruceTheChallenge.com, and that's
spiritual mother to the heavyweight champ, which is me in it. The character Knife.
Oh, she's
my spiritual mentor. She's my grandmother.
Oh, okay. And then we have
Bruce is his own spiritual mentor.
I think that's what he told some of the masters whenever they kicked him out of some of the other schools, right? So Jeet Kune Do come around. He says, "No, I want to teach something else. I want to teach my style. What style is your every style?"
That's right. I like the line in Enter the Dragon when he goes, "What style are you?" He goes, "Oh, it's the art of fighting without fighting."
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
And he sends the guy out on a rowboat.
Yeah. He throws his luggage in the water or something like that. Yeah. Awesome. A couple of other ones. The Forgiven is it's a short film that you have. It came out, I think, in 1999, and then we also have Dream Parlor. Those are really early films, and then also another film that you had was Fist of the North Star, which.
Let me tell you a funny story about Fist of the North Star.
Okay.
Actually, if that's not my first film, it was one of my first. I was cast for it, and no knock on the lead guy, because he's a really great guy, another martial artist. But when they were filming it, right, and it was supposed to be a huge movie. It was based on a famous Japanese comic book. You know, the anime stuff.
Right.
And it was going to be big. But I mean, it was just a mess. They really messed this one up. But it had nothing to do with it. I was just in it. And when they had the kids on the set, right? I wasn't the Fist of the North Star, Gary Daniels was, right?
Okay, yeah.
And the kids were on the set asking for my autograph, right? And they go, "Oh, Fist of the North Star, we want your signature," you know? And the producers got ticked because they were saying that Daniels is the Fist of the North Star, and the kids are going, "No, he is." No, I'm actually the bad guy in this one.
That's a scene stealer right there. That is a bad guy. You start stealing away the spotlight and the limelight from the actual.
I just go, "No, man." That was funny.
The production company that you use is Hollywood. Or sorry, I think you're an owner of it, right?
Pictures. That's our production company. We got a great group of guys that are part of it. Our line producer that does all the nuts and bolts in it is actually works for Disney. Okay? So he knows his stuff. And our director, Mike Dahl, man, you don't want to be on a set without him. He's awesome. And our producer that I started with from the very beginning, George Phillips. I don't know. Did you see the Forgiven trailer?
I think I did.
Are you there?
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
The Forgiven trailer, we just did it as a little teaser, right? We actually did it a weekend. We went to a stunt ranch down there at Joshua Tree. We went in there, just boom, 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 and we did all the special effects, everything, and we were under the gun, and it came out pretty decent for jamming that trip for a two-day shoot, So that's the trailer you see on our site.
You did that. You did the trailer in 2 days.
Yeah, and the reason
Wow.
why I'm bringing it up is all the special effects was George Phillips. He is a special effects physical guy. He's, all the explosion. He does everything, man. He can light. He can do everything. But he was ex-special forces, and he can arm and disarm a nuclear warhead. So
Well, it's a good guy to have around.
He's really good at this stuff, man. I mean, and we did blow-ups in this thing. We did squibs and everything. I mean, we jammed on this thing. I mean, for what it is, it came out pretty good. Just if we just find something out there that shows, the character that we're, who he is, and just a little teaser. But yeah, a weekend we jammed.
That's pretty cool. One of the things
our guys are great, man. They're awesome.
One of the things I like about HSP Films, Hollywood Sunset Pictures, is that you consider yourself big studio films on an indie budget, and I think that's awesome to do, because so many times people think that movies are always, big Hollywood, where you have, $500 million set into the production or something else, and I don't think you necessarily need that amount of money in order to produce great quality films. And that's what I like about your production company, is that you guys produce really good quality films on a needed budget. And I think that sets a good tone for the indie movie industry as well, because everybody's trying to create some really good film and pieces. And even if people need to figure out how to get started in it, they need to understand that there's other pieces to the movie besides money. Money, obviously, you gotta get, but you gotta do it.
We had to beg, borrow, and steal to get that thing up and going, But we had a good concept, and of course we had a lot of good things going for us. But I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you need money. I mean, if you're gonna do a big budget movie, you're gonna need, high powered stuff. So, money does come in, and it's probably the hardest thing about doing a film is getting the money. But yeah, the lower you keep your budget on a business sense, it's just easier to make back too.
Right. Yeah. Another thing I like.
It goes with how what the talent you're putting in it. If you're doing a Tom Cruise movie, that's gonna cost.
It cost me $5 just to say his name on air right then. What are you talking about?
Sorry. Well, no, now it's only $250.
Okay. But yeah, another thing that I like about your films is that you're family friendly, you're with action adventures, and also that you guys produce a good moral spiritual theme. And a lot of times movies get away from that, and so I think that's a good combination that you guys are producing there.
Yeah, I always had a heart to the kids, and getting them something that would entertain them, but they would get a good moral value out of it. I mean, like even in Forgiven, his whole thing, he's kind of almost like an avenging angel in Forgiven. You don't know where he's coming from, where he's going, and but he doesn't take money for. That's the whole irony of the name of the script is just send for hire. But he's not really for hire because he never takes the money. He just wants to right, the wrongs. And, so yeah, even in a Western, we have that spiritual theme,
So what makes you choose the projects that you do, in terms of storyline or plot or the people that you work with? What makes you choose these?
Fun. That's entertaining, basically. If it's like I like to call our stuff faith-based mainstream movies. So it's a mainstream. What's out there, what's fun. You have an audience that you want to entertain, and what's entertaining? Well, action adventures and the stuff that really, of course, you need a good story and stuff that's not action adventure, but stuff that's fun.
Right. Which do you like doing more? Do you like the obviously you're not too crazy about the writing, although you're an award winner. What about the directing, the producing, the acting? Which do you like to do more?
Acting.
Really? Okay.
What I, well, time for my brand now.
And scene. Or and action.
No, you come to me on the day of my brother's wedding. You don't even think the brother got. What can I do for you? Hey, forget about it.
Awesome. That's pretty good.
Thanks. I'm a big Brando fan, by the way.
Nice. The you mentioned face-based, and we were talking about budgets on indie budgets and big studio films and stuff like that, and how to raise money. How can people help you in terms of helping HSP Films and produce a movie?
I'm glad you brought that up. Well, basically, we have a link, and it's on our site. I can give it to you now. That if you contribute, we would, depending on what you give, if you give like over $20, you'll get a film shirt of your choice, what we're doing. And anybody that contributes any level will get a signed poster emailed to them, a high-res poster with everybody's signature on it. Shirley Jones signed it and everything. That's all the movies we did, they can get it and they can print it out and make a nice poster. But that's for any contribution that we do. That they give, that we'll give that to them. So we have some nice little perks and stuff. But that you just go to faith-based-filmfundraiser.com and it's really easy. You can contribute and be a part of it.
Nice. Now there's
you want to see great movies, man. You can be a part of what we're doing.
Nice. There's a special spelling to the razor. It's with a Z, correct?
Right. Fundraiser.com. R-A-Z-E-R.
Okay, nice. Maybe people go out there and trying to type it in wrong, and then
just click on our site. It says contribute. You can hit the contribute button. It'll take you right there. So go to hscfilms.com. There's contribute buttons on each page of the movies. You have Bruce the Challenge, you have Forgiven, Beyond Legend. That's the one that we're going to be doing after Forgiven. We have Rock Reno. That's so funny, by the way. If you really want to laugh, go to Rock Reno PI. We did a short for that one, and there's a trailer up there.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's about a wannabe rock star that has to do PI work to keep his band going.
Oh my goodness! So a cross between like Tom Selleck and doesn't have Tom Selleck in it, does it?
There you go. Was he a rock star?
No, he was the PI part. Maybe it had that guy off of Baywatch. I think he sings or something like that. I don't know. Awesome. So we've got those major movies. Everybody, I do encourage people to donate and support indie films and music and the actors and directors and producers that get out there and do this, because you'd be surprised that there's thousands of indie films that are produced a year, or hundreds or something like a great deal more than what actual you see out of big Hollywood. And what you'll see on the screen and stuff, you only see just a fraction of what actually is produced. And a lot of times these indie-based films actually become the big screen hits. And then a lot of times people don't realize that. And it's the idea and the option and stuff like that. So once you start getting in post-production or sending it out, sometimes from what I hear, that they get sold to big production and then production takes it over. But it wouldn't have started if it wouldn't have been somebody from indie come along and come up with the idea. So I highly encourage, even if you just want to be an extra in a film or try to get in front of the camera some way, to look at indie production, because it's huge in terms of how many people are involved in it. And just like you were talking about earlier, you have Jennifer Love Hewitt and talks with Forgiven This Guns for Hire. A lot of people don't realize, and the other big names that you mentioned earlier, stars are huge into indie films and indie production,
Yeah.
and so you may not necessarily see them on the big screen. You'll say, "Oh, well, check out this movie they did," and that's one of the best movies that they ever produced. I mean, they were ever starred in or acted in or everything
Well,
else.
if you look at just on the international market, this stuff they do, you didn't even know they did because it's the international market, never comes here.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was actually in a movie, and I did a martial arts fight scene, and it come out in Germany, and it was filmed here in the United States, and I was the bad guy in it. I got kicked in the chest by Matthias Huge and had Bridget Nielsen in it and everything else, but it come out in Germany. I've never seen it before, but it was a long time ago. But
There
it's
you
just
go,
one of those
see?
things. A lot of movies get released out into the other side of the world.
You know, I can't walk the streets in Indonesia.
Oh man.
I have no idea what's happening in Indonesia, but I just sorry for the people in Indonesia, man.
Yeah, they just swarm you, wanting those autographs, ripping their clothes off. Look, there's Nick, ah!
I can't go there. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, man, my face hurts. That's good stuff. Something I heard about.
I don't do stand up.
Leave that to your comic sit-ins on the movies, right? Nice. Now, something also funny I heard that one of the first species that you ever did was on the dating game. Can you talk about that?
Wow, look at you. Digging up my first stuff there, huh? Actually, I would actually like to see the tape on that one, because, I can't even find it, man. You know, it was a dating game with Chuck Willery. It was about 12 years now. Yeah, it was funny because I got this question, that, the question was, what would you do? The girl's asking it, if your snake ate my chihuahua. And I looked down and I went, well, my snake should smell eat your chihuahua. And nobody wants it. And then right after that, Chuck goes, okay, I mean, that's a probably good bait for you. Yeah, that was one of my first things that around the same time, just this and North, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Oh man, I can imagine the place just erupted after that.
It was funny.
What about some future projects and shows and stuff that you're going to be working on? Where can people come and get signed autographs, the movies, the posters, the DVDs, any Comic Cons or events, things coming up? Do you have any upcoming other movies that you'd like to mention?
Well, of course, the award-winning screenplay you were talking about, Beyond Legend, Nik Catello, but beyondlegend.com. Check out the trailer for that. Just you can contact us through the site. If you want shirts or anything, you can just go on there and drop us a line, and we'll get back to you. And it's pretty easy to contact us.
Okay, awesome. Now, in terms of Twitter, I've got you at Nik_Catello, CATELLO_1. That's your personal one. Now your HSP is HSP111 on Twitter, so everybody check him out on Twitter. On Facebook, you can look up Bruce the Challenge. You can also look up Forgiven This Gun's for Hire on Facebook. MySpace.
There's another one.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, okay, I
3D.
missed one. Okay, there's one for the 3D one.
Yeah.
There's one on MySpace for people still on MySpace. There's at the Beyond Legend JK. Correct?
Yes.
All right on that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We do a lot of notes. Let me tell you. And then of course.
Awesome, man.
Also, like I mentioned earlier, hspfilms.com. Everybody go check that out. Also, again, I'm going to reemphasize this to everybody. Try to pitch in and help out with some of these indie films, and you can do this by helping Nik out at facebasedfilmsfundraiser.com, and that's spelled with a Z on the razor part. Everybody go there. You can also go on IMDb and check him out and his movies out. And email-wise, if you'd like to get more involved, go to the websites, but you can also email them at staff@hspfilms.com. That's STAFF at hspfilms.com. Anything that I might have missed there?
No, I think you hit the whole chicken caboodle there, man. That was awesome, bud.
Yeah, you didn't know I used to be a detective in my former life, huh?
Well, hey, maybe you can play Rock Reno.
I might just get some long hair and a ace bass guitar or something like that.
Well, actually, I'm a drummer, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. Have you got any music out there in the movies? Are you doing your own?
Well, actually, if you go to and watch the Rock Reno trailer,
Yeah.
that's me doing the song in the beginning.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. Now, I have to admit, the mention of Rock Reno, I'm thinking of some 70s bass type of music. You know.
Well, actually, it's more late 80s.
Late 80s? Okay, more hair band kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a period piece.
Okay, nice. Well, are there any final thoughts you would like?
I don't know why we always find ourselves doing period pieces. Bruce is in the 70s. We had to shoot around everything, not to mess that up. You know, we're doing a Western. The only modern one is Beyond Legend.
Well, you know,
I'm stuck on classics, that's why, right?
Yeah, dude, I think that's great, though. I think sometimes if you look back at the current way movies are made, if you don't revisit on how they were made in the past, you won't really understand the art of making great movies. And I think,
and then that.
Yeah, because they didn't have high tech way back when. No, they relied on screenwriting, they relied on cinematography, they relied on acting. You know, the true talents and stuff of I'm not saying special effects and stuff isn't a true talent, but I'm just saying it's much different.
The true special effects are all physical.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Actually, my favorite movie is Gone with the Wind. We just do it digitally now, but we actually use the same technique that they used back then. The plantation terrace, that never really exists. That's a map painting. They painted it on glass and inlaid it in there, which we do now on green screen.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of the techniques that they used in Gone with the Wind were, at the time were, technical innovations.
Huh. That's kind of interesting because I'm actually.
Yes, I did watch that documentary.
I'm actually in Mobile, Alabama, and it's a huge southern plantation type of city in terms of some of the main streets and stuff like that are there's southern plantations all over this place, antique places. And now that I'm mentioning it, you do indie production. If you ever get out to Mobile, Alabama is great for the film industry. There's so many movies that have been made here. It's unbelievable. Something like 83, 85. Yeah, they've got 80, somewhere around 85, 90 movies that have been made here. Steven Seagal's Under Siege was made here, and just all kinds of God, I can't even go down the list. There's been so many of them. But and the southern.
When we get to the point where we're gonna do Rock Reno, we'll do it down there.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
That'd be a perfect place for it.
Yeah, the film industry is awesome here in terms of raw hidden talents and all kinds of other stuff. The scenery, since you like old classics and southern plantations and stuff, you could find some really good homes to do it in. The historic center here in Mobile, they really have some great homes here. So. If you ever get a chance, it'd be great to have you down here making something. So, of course, I'd have to bring you some bagels or something just to be an extra on the set. But I'll do what I can.
Extra, man. Give me my sidekick.
Nice.
I'll be your sidekick. The way things are going now, I'll be third sidekick, my sidekick.
Nah, it'll be great. Everybody needs to go out there and donate to the film to make sure these things get produced. But are there any final thoughts you would like for everybody to know about you, about your movies, about your work, or anything in just general in life?
In general, I'm just dedicated to doing, the job the right way the first time, and dedicate myself to, doing things that, things moving along, which is really tough in this business. So yeah, just dedication to the job one,
Nice, well said. I completely agree. So on behalf of everyone here at the show, all the producers, all the editors, everybody who listen and watch around the world, thank you so much, Nick, for being on our show. And I look forward to your movies coming out. Look forward to having you back on again if you would mind whenever you've got the 2013s and the 2014 movies and stuff coming out. So it'd be an honor.
I enjoyed this.
I appreciate it. It's been a great night talking to you. So I was pretty excited when the producer hit me up with you and learning everything about you. And you're awesome, man. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.
All right. You have a great week.
You too, man. God bless you, buddy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Here's Amy Weber with her sexy song, Something Kinda Ooh. And now, a word from our sponsors.
At Taylor Gifts, we do customized monogramming and embroidery. We can monogram anything from a simple one name on a bib for a baby to a customized logo on a company shirt. We can make gifts for your wedding entourage and gifts for your friends. Label your children's items for school and put names on jerseys for sports. If you have items of your own you want them monogrammed and embroidered, we can do that. Taylor Gifts are sewn with high-quality thread on a professional embroidery machine. So go to the website www.taylorgifts.net, call 251-391-4354, email sales@taylorgifts.net, visit us at ETSY,
and Facebook us. We are ready for your orders.
Welcome to WROM, Realms of Music Radio and Social Network. We support independent artists and talk shows, hosting a large discussion forum and an artist gallery. We also have a large social network combining the best of Facebook and MySpace into one. So make sure you submit your music to us and create a profile to promote yourself today. That's realmsofmusic.com, the best of music radio.
The Ghost Tales Television Network, GTN. GTN is designed to give the paranormal TV and filmmaking community the opportunity to showcase their talents and creations. If you believe you have what it takes to create your very own TV show and or short film and you would like the opportunity to showcase your creations, you may contact us at ghosttalestv@gmail.com or call 901-377-7166 for more details. Make sure you visit ghosttalestv.com. GTN, America's Paranormal Superstation.
Jackalope 105 FM on jackaloperadio.com. Your alternative to the grind of internet and FM radio. When we say diversity in programming, we mean it. Lots of stations brag, throw out a hype, and pad their numbers. Well, we don't. Accept no limitations. When you truly want awesome 24-hour radio, tune in to Jackalope and rock your routine. Jackalope 105 FM on jackaloperadio.com.
Thank you for listening to the show. I am your host, Bryan Lee Whatley. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next time when another story begins. Until then, love and light.